What's going on, everyone? This is Smitty here, and in this video, this is a community feedback video for Madden in regards of the quarterback, wide receiver, and DB relativity. But this is mainly focusing on the QB play. Now, in these examples that I'm going to showcase, I'm basically talking about pass placement with the quarterback. Now, this first example here, I'm showing basically being able to throw the ball into space, to throw a receiver open. Now, the issue here in Madden is that unless you throw the ball ahead of time, like if you don't throw the ball, like in this instance, this is a timing route. So if I didn't throw the ball before Calvin came out of his break, he won't throw the ball into space like that. Typically, just throw it to where only the receiver could possibly get it, or throw the ball closer to the sideline or out of bounds, like directly in front where only Calvin can get it. Otherwise, the ball will get thrown smack right dead on his numbers, and he won't be able to make the catch, or the DB will be able to undercut him for a potential pick. So I just wanted to showcase this first example here because number one, we need to see this happen more often. Like we need to see it where I'm able to throw, like he can make the break on his route, and he can even be running towards the sideline, and I should be able to throw the ball down low and away if I want, or I could throw it up towards the numbers and away, just putting it more in front. So then Calvin would either have to reach to try and catch it for a toe drag catch, or the ball just sails out of bounds and he's not able to complete the pass. All right, now this next example is same play, but this in this case here, I'm gonna throw it like I'm gonna time it a little bit better here. So I'm gonna throw it right as Calvin gets out the break, but I'm able to throw it more low and away in this case scenario, but it's right where he's able to catch the pass, like I said before. Um, Now the problem that I have here is that number one, unless you augment the pass sliders to an extent, it's harder to get these kind of results, like in terms of trying to manipulate the passing window, so to speak, to try and broaden that horizon. It needs to be more like this at default, because this was something that was done in APF. This was something that was done in 2K5, where even if Calvin was running towards the sidelines, like if I threw the ball as he's running towards the sideline, I could still throw it and the ball will be led in front of him away, only where he could catch it, but he may not be able to complete it and still remain in bounds. So as I'm showing it here at different angles, like it is nice to see that they have it at least at this point where Calvin's able, or the player, your wide receiver is able to go down as they're making the catch in stride. But the problem is that you can't do it at just any point on the route. It has to be at a particular point. So if you don't throw that pass as like before or right when they're making that break, you're really not going to be able to lead that pass into space accordingly. And I should be able to do it at any point on the route and try and throw it to an open space for my receiver to have the best possible chance to get it, or let it sail out of bounds for an incomplete pass or be. And in this clip right here, you're going to see that when I make this pass to Pettigrew here, once again, I'm throwing it just as he's coming out of his break. Because if I don't throw it, typically, if I don't throw this pass right when he's making that break, I'm not going to be able to truly lead him into space. And it's going to basically be a pass where it's going to be tied directly to his route. And the pass is going to lead him in the sense of hitting him smack dab on the numbers instead of just throwing it up in space where he would have to retrieve it himself. Or it'll fall for an incomplete pass, as you guys see here with this instance right here. Alright, in the next clip right here, as you guys see, I played at a regular speed there. Now I waited till after the break to throw the pass, and you see how in comparison to the other examples, he threw it directly on the numbers, and because of that, the defender is right there to make the play on it. Now that's what you definitely don't want when you see this kind of situation. Now from a user control perspective, we should be able to, like, you can do it at times. Don't get me wrong. You can lead your receiver and get it open, but we need to be able to have more control over the pass placement where y'all can truly lead the ball into an open spot. And if he misses it, okay. If he drops the pass, all right. But I want to be able to lead it into space and not have the pass tethered to the route where he's throwing it directly to the numbers like you guys see here. So I'm pointing that out with the cursor. Throw it more in between the hashes and up and ahead. In this example here, we're talking about the fade route. Now, with the fade here, as we see once again, Madden, this is traditionally in Madden, if the receiver is not behind the DB, he's not going to typically attack the ball. So you've seen here Calvin attack the ball in this instance here. He's behind the ball, he's behind the defender, and he was able to go up and go for the catch. Now, in this case, he had dropped it. But what I'm going to show you guys here, like the route, you can question how he had ran it per se, but to see him go up for it, while it's logical, it's still only because he's behind the DB. All right, in this last clip right here, this is showing the fade route, and as you see, Calvin didn't go up and attack the ball because why? He was in front of the DB. Now we need to see the wide receiver act just like how the DB would react. See them attack the ball as well. Like the ball is coming, they spot it. Not only should the DB turn around, but the wideout should turn too, based upon how the trajectory of the ball is coming in. And instead of just going for that catch animation didn't make any sense. Calvin knew he had a defender in front of him, so he should acknowledge the defender and step up, shorten his route, step in, and jump up and attack the ball at that high point, just like how the DB had done as well. So I'm going to go from here. I'm going to transition and showcase these similar kind of plays in APF. I have a few examples I'm going to showcase there to round this video out, but just showing you guys here one last time up close. Like this kind of stuff we need to see eradicated from Madden, and why not use the best game to date that had it all done right with APF 2K8. So I'm going to showcase that here in a moment. Alright guys, now this next example here showcasing APF and starting out with the most recent route that I was talking about with Madden 15. Talking about the fade route here. Now, in this example, this is where I'm talking about the QB, DB, and wideout relativity to each other. First of all, you see where the ball is thrown. It's thrown to a spot where Moss has a great chance at getting the ball. But at the same time, the DBs have a chance at getting at the ball too. But yeah, they're going to have to fight for it in order to get it. That's one thing. Second thing is that when you're looking at the animations here, you have 3 different animations taking place. This is something we need to happen too. It's improved in Madden, but you still have mirrored catch animations take place. And the third thing is the type of animation that took place. It was proper and it made sense in regards to the situation. It was a corner, corner type situation, a corner catch, corner of the end zone, and you see Moss, he makes the catch and gets both feet in. But I want to show it from the perspective of Moss here as well. So you see him make the break, gets bumped, he gets bumped to the outside, but he's clearly in front of the DB, and he has the additional help over top. But yet, look, as you see the ball come in for the catch, he's still able to. He's in position. The ball's not thrown to the numbers, thrown up into a spot, and then you see him go up and go for the catch accordingly. This is the kind of stuff that we need to see. This is the stuff that we've been pressing for, that we've been harping on. That's why we've been saying for so many years 2K needs to definitely come back, get back into the mix. I know we got Joe Montana, but regardless, this is the kind of stuff that we need to see happen in the game. Bottom line. Okay? And I have 2 more examples and I'm going to close it out. Okay, this next example right here, this is similar to the situation where I shown Pettigrew on the pass in the middle here. So as you see, they're running at full speed. I'm gonna rewind it here, show it in point out a few different things here. First of all, you seen that the ball was thrown and it was thrown to a spot. It was thrown to a spot. So it's not tethered to the receiver's route. It's not going to throw it directly to hit him on the numbers per se, but it's thrown to an area that even in the face of a potential challenge by the defenders, as you see, it still is thrown in a legitimate spot where Moss has a chance to go up and grab it. And as you guys see here, he goes in for the one-handed catch. Now I don't agree with the defender's hand being back, that went up with him, but nevertheless, neither here nor there. The point of the matter is that when he went up for the catch, you're gonna see here, focus it in here on Moss. You see here from the snap, goes ahead, makes his move to the inside. I didn't have to throw it at the break, and that's the key thing. I did not have to throw it at the break in order for me to place this ball where I placed it, to put it in that spot. So I throw it up to that spot. Moss sees it and he attacks it accordingly in the face of the defense, and he's able to come away with the completion. This is, once again, this is the stuff that we need to see going forward. We need these kind of things. We need this kind of placement, and at the same time, see the defender adequately try and attack the ball like we see here. Both of them go up and basically get the whole fight for the ball type deal. We see it somewhat in Madden 15, but we truly need to see it flushed out and shown in this kind of fashion right here. Alright guys, I'm going to end it here with this last clip here, but there are multiple things that I want to point out in this clip as well that definitely would love to see happen with Madden going forward here. Now, played it at regular speed, but I'm going to showcase a few things here to point out. First of all, the QB movement. This is one thing in Madden. We want to see like true movement when it comes to QBs, dropbacks, and rollouts and things of that nature. This is stuff I pointed out back on Sim Standard years ago. I mean, they have the 3, 5, and 7-step dropbacks and the play actions and all that. But what I'm talking about is just seeing everything flow in realistic, fluid motion. Whether it's a handoff to a halfback or a drop back or anything like that. Because as you can see, with the QB evading, like for me, dropping back and rolling over to the right, all of his steps were accounted for properly. Even when I flicked the stick to evade the sack here, his footsteps, everything was in stride properly. He gathered his feet. He gathered his feet after, shedding the potential sack, steps into the throw, gets it out there, and you see even with the spiral, it's not a ultra clean spiral. But the cool thing is, number one, he leads the ball into space well into Carter's route, which we know in Madden you can lead after you can possibly potentially you could lead the receiver, but you still have the ball tethered directly to the receiver's route, and that's where you have the passes. They'll drop it right on the numbers instead of throwing it into a space where the receiver alone has the best chance at getting the ball, like you see in this case right here. And the other significant thing is the positioning of the ball when he makes the catch. There's very little suction, very minimal suction into his hand when he makes the catch. And I'm talking about the position because the relative position in terms of when you try to make the catch matters. It matters in real life. It definitely needs to matter in the video game as well. But the last thing I want to point out here is the pressing here. Okay, so when I'm talking about the relation here, I want to see different types of presses going on, because this is, and once again, this is stuff that as a community we have all pointed out over the years. We've all pointed this out in the APF. We know that Madden only has like two or three animations that show a guy get pushed to the inside or the outside, but you see you have a variety here with APF. Now in this case, you've seen Carter get pushed down, you've seen 82 get pushed to the outside, and you see here 86 gets pushed to the inside. And then you see with Moss, the defender tried to push him. He tried to bump him. but then he put the move on him, and he's able to get free upfield. Now, going over to the receiver that did make the play, Carter was put in a bad spot, and this is the whole dynamic that I'm talking about. Look at this dynamic. He pushes him and knocks him down, gets up, and like I said, I don't like how he broke free. I don't like how he got free at that point. Like they just had him stand still like that. Lane had him stand still, but regardless of that, I like how he ends up being the guy that made the play after being knocked to the turf, comes up, and once again, the ball is thrown into open space, and he's able to go up, attack it, and come down with it accordingly. This is all together from all these examples is the kind of stuff we need to see. So, thanks a lot, guys, for your time. Thanks a lot for being patient and watching the video. I appreciate it. Sorry I was so long winded, but I'll definitely be back with more videos. Thanks for your time, people. Every Thursday night, tune in to the Sim Standard Radio Show featuring myself, Sim F-Ball Critic, and Azure Effect. The link is in the description to listen in and to call in. The number is 914-338-0794.